Good morning, project organization participants. I'm here today to talk to you about buttons, brads, beads, all those things that you might get in big containers or lots of, but that when you're scrapbooking, you actually would only use just a few of. So flowers, beads, brads, eyelets, sometimes we get like 1,000 eyelets for $5 and that's a great deal, but you don't actually need to have all of those 1,000 red eyelets together in one place. So what we're going to talk about today is how to take care of those things and how to make them really useful to you. So the first thing I'm going to recommend to you is that you take things that come in containers that are difficult to store or take up space to move around, and take those things out of the containers, no matter how cute they are, and put them into something that's a lot more easy and versatile to use. And my tool of choice, many of you already know this, is a small Ziploc bag. So when I get something like this little container of glitter, which is a super cute little container, but it actually means it's something I have to keep in a drawer or somewhere else and have to dig it out. But if I just take the lid off that container, I'm going to get green glitter all over myself. Take a small Ziploc bag. Now I can either put all of that green glitter or just like half of it into that little Ziploc bag. Now, as we know about glitter, especially this ultra fine glitter, a little bit of glitter goes a long way. So even though that looks like a tiny amount of glitter, that's going to be plenty for any project that I'm going to do, whether I'm scrapping at home or at a crop. By putting it in this little bag, now I can add it into my rainbow section really easily. And when I'm using it, it's easy to pour out in a straight line or on top of glue or whatever. Easy, and then easy to dump back in the bag. So then I'm just going to put the lid on this little container. So I've still got that cutie container. But even things like these little micro beads, again, you don't need this whole cylinder of micro beads when you go to a crop or class, or even when you're working at home, right? You're only going to need some of them for those projects. So take a small Ziploc bag, fill it up with the micro beads, close it up, put the lid back on the container. If you buy a ton of flowers, you might have lots and lots of flowers that come in a jar or whatever. You don't necessarily need all of those flowers with you when you're scrapbooking. So take some of the flowers, put them in a Ziploc bag. Take the remaining flowers, put those in a different Ziploc bag or another small container, and set them aside. Same thing with buttons. Even glitter that comes in big containers. So this is a giant, I'm going to do the green one because green's kind of where I'm working. This is a container of big regular glitter. Again, I'm just going to take a Ziploc bag. Now we sell the small little 2x2 Ziploc bags on our website. They're super, I think you get 100 of them in a package. They're really convenient to have for all of these kind of things. So now I've taken what could be seemingly a really bulky assortment of products and moved them into just this much space, right? So I have enough of those things. It looks like St. Patrick's Day here now, doesn't it? I have enough of those things that any project I'm working on, I could complete it, but I haven't had to find a way to haul all these containers around with me. So it makes it really quick and simple. And then what you want to do is you want to make some backstock boxes of things for yourself. So I just put a green piece of paper on this, and now I can put all the green things that I have extras of right into this box of green, right? I've even got these extra buttons right here. Now I already have this color of button and tons of them in a little baggie in my scrap rack. I don't really need a couple hundred buttons. I just need a couple dozen in the scrap rack. So I'm just going to bag those up and throw them in the green box. Now I can take these products that I have here, well, even something like this. Okay, these little acrylic dots, adorable, right? But you will never, I should say you will never, most people will never use this entire bag of little purple acrylic dots. So what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to use this little tray. It's called a Tidy Craft tray. I've had it for years. It's come in handy so many times. But in order to make it easy to pour things into that Ziploc bag, I'm going to put a bunch of those little things in my little Tidy Craft tray right here. And then I'm going to take a Ziploc bag, open it up, pull the plug out of the Tidy Craft. Now this, and then I'm just going to be able to dump all of those little acrylic dots in there quick and easy. None of them spill on the floor, but I've got a little baggie full that I can put right into my scrap rack. So I'll have those, but I've only taken up that much space, and I haven't had to haul this whole thing around. Now, what I'm going to recommend, I'm going to put that right there with the red, well, I'm going to put these things in my purple box, because I know I've got extra purples of those. What I'm going to recommend, when you have something like this, and you know you're not going to use it all, you think, well, I'll share that with my scrapbook buddies so I can buy this big thing of them. So while you're bagging up what you're going to use or what you want to keep, at that same time, get some more Ziploc bags and put little baggies together for each of your scrapbooking friends. So I'm just going to refill this tray. Open that up a little bit. I'm going to refill my tray. And I think I've got enough of these to share with 6 of my scrap pals. So I'm going to fill 6 little bags. I'm going to fill these 6 little bags. And then I'm going to throw them in my crop tote. And the next time I go to a crop or I'm with my pals, I'm going to be able to share them around with each of my scrapbooking friends. So by doing this, kind of already sorting them out and having them ready to go, and even throwing them right into my crop tote, I'm actually going to give them away. Now, I know we've all bought stuff that we thought, okay, yeah, we'll share that with our friends. That's a great idea. But we never actually get around to dividing it up and sharing it out. But using this system, you're going to be ready to do. You're going to have it in your tote. I'm making kind of a mess here, actually, with my tidy craft tray as I'm sprinkling these in. But now I've got these little bags, and they're all ready to go, and they're in my tote. And when I go to the crop, I can just pull them out of the tote and share them with friends. The same thing if you're buying large jars of glitter. Now, I know glitter comes in a much larger jar than this. But if you, this size or larger, and you think you won't use it all, go ahead when you're doing your own little bag to go in your scrap rack. Go ahead and sort out some more bags and just share them out. I mean, think how much fun would it be if you showed up at the crop and you had these little extra products as just a little gift for your scrap pals. So especially, or if it's St. Patrick's Day and you've got all this little extra green stuff, you could put together a little kit, put it on the inside of a card, and send it off to your friends. And so you're really getting the best use out of those things. You have plenty for you to use, but you're making other people's day as well. So it's a great little way to just bag things up and share them out. And if you take the steps to bag them up at the first, put them in your crop tote, then you'll be all ready to go. So now what we've done is we've got all the things together. So if I had backstock of this, the purples, I'm going to put in my purple backstock box. And if I have backstock items that are red and pink, those are going to go in my backstock box for red and pink. And I'm going to create a backstock box for each color. And the reason we're doing the backstock box is because when you actually sit down to scrap and you need a green, you go to green and you go, oh, I'm out of green glitter. When you go to get your backstock box of green glitter, you can bring it over to your scrap rack, go to your green page, and not only can you refill your glitter, but you could also refill your flowers and your buttons and your brads and your eyelets. Any of the little baggies that are empty in the green section, you can refill them all at one time. So it makes it really simple. If you kind of set yourself up for success using that backstock box, when you need to refill one color, one thing in a color, you can refill everything in a color. So now that you've got your things in backstock, how is that going to look? So I've got a couple of different pages here. So this one's red, and you can see that what we've got on this red page is everything, brads, eyelets, buttons, whatever, so that when I'm actually scrapbooking, if I need a red accessory, I've got all those things here in my little red section, so it's super easy to find. Now this is just what we call a Sweet 16 page, so I'm going to kind of separate it out here a little bit. But it's got 16 pockets on it, so it'll hold 16 tiny Ziploc bags full of supplies on this Sweet 16 page. And then we also have another page. I've got an empty one here, and this is called the embellishment storage page. And this is a heavier duty plastic, and it's got 12 little pockets on each side, and the pockets have a little locking tab on them. So if you've got really bulky embellishments, or you prefer to have something that's just a little bit thicker for storing those embellishments, this page is going to be perfect for you. Now these come in sets of 3. They're the only page we make that isn't 12.5 inches long. They're a little bit narrower just because of the weight they carry. So we've tabbed them at the tops. They have 1, 2, 3 tabs at the top, so you can see the little tabs sticking up out of your scrap rack and you could write on there purple or green or whatever color it is. But because they're a thicker, they're a gusseted pocket, and again, it's double-sided, so there's 12 pockets on each side. Now this pack also comes with little Ziploc bags. So you're going to get 3 pages, which translates to 72 pockets. You're also going to get 72 mini Ziploc bags with that as well. But this does allow you to store those heavier, bulkier items, and it is double-sided, so that's a great option too. So 2 choices for that: the embellishment storage page, or what we've got here in this red section, which is the Sweet 16 page. And you can see we've just got all those little Ziploc bags in there. So you can see tiny brads, eyelets, a couple of different kinds of glitter and micro beads. They're all in there and all at your fingertips. Now if I had backstock of all of these, but I ran out of the micro beads, when I went and got my red backstock box out of the cupboard, I would be able to refill everything in red that was looking low. So whether it was buttons that maybe just had 2 or 3 buttons left in the bag, or an empty bag where I used to have brads or whatever, I would have all my red backstock right here. I would also know if there wasn't anything left in here that I needed more stuff. So it makes it easy to kind of keep track of what you've got and to refill and restock. Now these are kind of tiny backstock boxes. You can use any kind of backstock box you want. The nice thing about these is that they all stack up nice and neat because they're all the same size. So if you've got an opportunity to keep those backstock boxes all the same size, then that works great. I know that since we've introduced the photo storage box, I've had several people actually comment to me that they had taken the, which is like 8.5 by 11 box, so it's pretty big, and it does have the tag things on both sides, and they were actually using these instead of for photo storage for their backstock storage because they could label them on both sides, and they're really lightweight and easy to get in and out of. So another good option if you need something a little bit bigger for your backstock is the photo storage box. So bag everything up, put it in a small little Ziploc bag, slip it into a storage page pocket, put it in the right section of your 4-section system, and then you'll be ready to work with everything you've got and have everything at your fingertips. So thanks so much for joining us for project organization.